Yo, what up YouTube? It's Casper. Today we're gonna be talking about the movie Rocky. So let's get straight to it. Yeah, I just cannot believe I have not watched this movie at all. With Sylvester Stallone, the only movie that I could say that I watched his performance. I already knew that he had this Rocky movie in the books, but I just never got to it. But I've seen him in the Expendables, and with the Expendables, when I saw that one, I honestly thought that those movies were actually great. Very excited to talk about this movie Rocky and what I thought about it on my first watch. The movie Rocky is a 1976 movie. It's rated PG and it's 2 hours. It's directed by John G. Avildsen. It's written by Sylvester Stallone. Starred by Sylvester Stallone, Talia, Shire, Burt Young, Carl Weathers, Burgees, Meredith. About Rocky Balboa. He's a struggling boxer. He does normal stuff in Philadelphia, meaning just try to get bread. He low-key works for the mafia, not deeply in it, but gets the job done on collecting funds, and he gets paid off that. And he has a crush on this one girl. During all that time, there's a heavyweight champion who doesn't fight his opponent because of an injury. There's an announcement where there's an opportunity for anybody to fight this champion. Rocky Balboa gets picked out of everybody because of his name, the Italian Stallion. And basically the movie shows how far he would go and take to make his dreams come true with relationships and trying to make this boxing match happen. This movie already caught my eye in just the beginning. I just love the fact that it just brought me all that 70s vibe. The way it was shot brought me, that's what they would do in the 70s, and the quality of the camera back then was still clean. I like the quality of the camera, the way it was portraying everything. Obviously in the beginning, when you see them in the Rocky in the boxing match, a lot of the hits in the movie don't hit, but a lot of them make sense for what it is, and I didn't judge it off that at all. The flow in the beginning, I like how they did the credits, very clean. Excited to see how this character just develops throughout this whole thing, and this is just the first movie. Stallone's acting fit for what it was. It gave me the vibe of, it didn't have to be an actor where it was trying to portray somebody living in that environment, like in Philadelphia. Stallone already gave me that vibe, like here's a dude out there, no one knows about him, he's just in his own world trying to make it happen. He gets socially awkward in the movie, but that just creates more of a natural to it. He kept repeating the word you know, but it wasn't a bother to me. There's people out there that don't catch themselves repeating that same word all the time. It's that word they fall back on whenever they're like nervous, and I could see the nervousness in Stallone, meaning like his character. Whenever he was talking, he did have self-confidence in the beginning, which I saw that felt natural. Obviously, Stallone may look awkward at times, but that's just one of those vibes where that's a person that just acts like that. And his confidence in boxing was there. The lines as well. The lines were direct. And everybody else around acting with Stallone was boss too. So Stallone acting in here was actually done very well. This movie not only just has a story, a love story in here as well. So this movie, the range in this movie, it stretches. So I really like that. Love story with Stallone and Adrian. Adrian is played by Talia. I can see a lot of people seeing how awkward it was and how it kind of looked forced at a scene where Rocky Balboa is inviting Adrian into the crib. It didn't feel like a force. As you could look in the movie, a lot of the scenes, he is showing respect in the senses of like, he is an awkward dude, but he's showing respect. Like, he didn't just say, come to my house the first time. He went over to her house to like build a relationship. She was kind of like just the nervous female who was just very shy. She has a brother named Paulie, and Paulie basically wants to get her out of the house. Paulie wants to take credit for hooking him up, but Rocky Balboa already had a crush on Adrian because Adrian worked at the pet shop as well. And Rocky will go and meet Adrian at her work at the pet shop. He bought a couple pets from that pet shop. Adrian helped him to get those pets. So it says in the movie, and that was pretty funny because she mentioned it. But it just made sense on both of them being awkward. None of it was forced, like, come here now, like, I want you to be here. Like, no. The scene where Paulie gets mad at his sister, Adrian, was the day Rocky had to take Adrian out. I thought that was played very well. Rocky was very excited to see Adrian. Paulie lying his ass off saying that she's ready and excited. But fast forward to when Adrian and Paulie get mad at each other and Rocky has to go to the door and ask Adrian out. I thought that was played very well. It was already awkward as it is, you know, with Paulie getting mad out of nowhere, hey, go on a date. But Rocky being a dude came through and with respect was like, hey, you know, I know this is awkward, but you know, like, you want to go on a date with me? He was excited, and that's his way of showing. Rocky didn't show too much like happy face excitement, but his tone was kind of like monotone, but you can tell he was excited. He was nervous, and he was kind of mad at Paulie too. Like, come on, dude, like, I told you to tell your sister. The scene where Rocky invites her to his apartment, I thought that was normal too. 70s vibe, awkward, don't know how to really socialize and flirt. Rocky, all he does is just box and low-key stuff for the mafia and trying to just get his bread. You know, he just does him and just tries to be a boxer. With Adrian and Rocky Balboa, I would say I like the love story in there. It didn't go overboard and it become too like lovey-dovey. There's a couple scenes where they're like kissing, but it's like, okay, you know, 70s vibe, low-key. It's not like Titanic where it dragged on the whole movie, kind of. It's like, bro, for real. Nothing wrong with the love story. Fitting each other's vibe very well, and they love each other. Like how Rocky really explains how she fills his gaps. Standout for me was definitely Burgees Meredith, who plays Mickey, who's Rocky Balboa's manager. I just like the vibe of just very tough love. Did give that Philadelphia grimy, like, I've been seeing a lot of shit in my time. The lines, the voice, the presence, and the acting was very good. What they did in the movie felt very real. The training, the way he wanted to keep Stallone, Rocky Balboa, focused. Really loved his character. Paulie, he's played by Burt Young. Paulie was a good character as well. He was funny because he's just trying to get also a mafia job because he knows that Rocky Balboa has one. He's bugging him, saying like, yo, did you talk to the boss? You know, put in a word for me. It was funny because, you know, you'll be like an hour and 30 into the movie and this dude at the 30-minute mark is asking, and then we're an hour later and he's still asking, and I thought it was comedy. Like, dude, he's still asking. Paulie, good job. Like I said, I can't wait to see basically all these characters in the next Rocky movies. Paulie did a good job. Liked his character as well. A lot of scenes with a lot of other characters in here, and a lot of those scenes with Stallone and those other characters, like when Stallone is walking back to his house, he sees, I guess, his neighbor's daughter and he's trying to put her on game. There's scenes like that where I'll be like, those scenes actually hit. That's actually real life stuff. Give it to Stallone. It wasn't like a crazy forced acting at all. And there's a scene in the movie, one of my favorite scenes is when Stallone gets confronted by Mickey for Mickey to be Stallone's manager, because the fight got announced that Rocky Balboa is gonna be the one fighting the heavyweight champion. Rocky's apartment, when Mickey leaves, Rocky just he waits for Mickey to leave and starts yelling, starts just giving his emotions, shouting out how he feels. That scene right there was so intense. I couldn't just stop staring on just the sense of like, wow. Mickey from down the hall heard it, and then later in the scene, Rocky comes outside and gives him a hug and basically just shows him like, hey, you know, I accept you to be my manager, you know, be my manager, please. That scene was a 10 out of 10, maybe an 11 out of 10. So the acting, the writing, all good. The music is good as well. Like, dude, it's hyped, very hyped. The montage scenes as well. This is where Family Guy and all those other shows and South Park make fun of, like, finally seeing it for what it is. And I was like, dude, it's dope. Apollo Creed is played by Carl Weathers. I like the build-up. I like how Apollo Creed was already cocky. His acting was good as well. And I like the people around Apollo who are actually watching Rocky on TV. They're like, yo, this guy is different. This guy might be something we're not expecting. So I like those extra details. When the fight ended up happening, I thought it was crazy. I thought the fight was absolutely insane. It's very crazy too that Rocky does not block any shots. He takes every punch to the face. This dude blocks with his face. So that was kind of crazy to see as a movie, just seeing this dude just every hit just boom boom to the head. I'm like, bro, what the heck, block it. But Rocky takes every hit to the head. The fight was dope. There is some hits that, you know, look a little acting, but not complaining at that at all, to be honest. The movie is great. The inspiration is on point. Stallone was in his bag making this, like when he wrote this. Boxing match at the end, it was brutal. Stallone got messed up. His face looked crazy. Apollo Creed's face was crazy. That was good detail. And then when the fight was over, I liked the straight, I'm done with this match. Rocky did what he wanted to do, to just go the distance with him. He didn't even care if he won or lost. And he just wanted to see his girl, Adrian. The fact that happened after the match, I was like, yo, this is so good, dude. It's not cheesy, meaning like this dude is just gonna be enjoying Hollywood stardom. He just wants to be with his person, which is Adrian. She saw him getting fucked up. and she came out right away after the match, and I thought that was dope. The way it ended like that, I thought it was clean. Overall, the movie flowed very, very well. I can't wait to get to number 2. Man, I can't wait to see all of them. After my first watching the movie Rocky, I'm gonna have to give it, if I could, an 11, but I'm gonna have to give it a 10 out of 10. So that's my movie review for the movie Rocky. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.